Here are 10 powerful ways to recognize envy and falsehood in others, because not everyone cheering for you is truly on your side. Think about this. Have you ever shared a personal win, only to notice someone's smile fade, their tone shift, or hear a subtle dig disguised as advice? Envy doesn't always show up in obvious ways. It hides in small, calculated behaviors. And spotting falsehood can be even trickier. It often lurks behind exaggerated praise, unwarranted criticism, or suspicious silence. If you felt the sting of insincere support or sensed someone secretly competing with you, this video will give you the clarity to identify these patterns and protect your peace. We're diving deep into real-life examples, actionable insights, and the psychology behind envy and falsehood. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these subtle signs, but also know how to respond with confidence and grace. Let's uncover the truth together and strengthen your relationships while staying true to your path. 1. Subtle criticism disguised as advice. I once shared my excitement about launching a new project with a colleague. Instead of offering encouragement, they said, "That's ambitious, but are you sure you can handle it? It might be too much for someone with your experience." At first, I brushed it off as concern, but over time I realized this wasn't an isolated incident. Each time I brought up a new idea or accomplishment, they had a similar reaction, couching doubt as advice. Subtle criticism disguised as advice often comes from people who feel threatened by your progress. Instead of directly putting you down, they cloak their envy in seemingly well-meaning suggestions. For instance, imagine telling a friend about your goal to start a fitness routine. Instead of cheering you on, they might say, "That's great, but don't get your hopes up. It's really hard to stick to a plan." This type of comment plants seeds of self-doubt while appearing supportive. These behaviors can also show up in personal relationships. A friend of mine shared how, when she was planning her wedding, her cousin constantly offered advice that undermined her choices. Comments like, "Those flowers are nice, but wouldn't something simpler suit you better?" made her second-guess decisions she'd been happy with before. The key to recognizing this subtle envy is to look for patterns. Does the person habitually cast doubt on your ideas or achievements under the guise of helping? Genuine advice is constructive and uplifting, even when it points out challenges. In contrast, envious remarks often leave you feeling deflated or uncertain. Recognizing this behavior helps you build resilience. Learn to trust your instincts and differentiate between genuine support and masked negativity. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your growth instead of subtly questioning it. 2. Downplaying your achievements. When I landed my first significant promotion, I was ecstatic and shared the news with a group of friends. Most were thrilled for me, but one friend responded with, "Oh, promotions are nice, but it's not like you're running the company." The comment stung. It wasn't outright negative, but it clearly aimed to minimize my success. People who downplay your achievements often feel threatened by your progress. Instead of celebrating with you, they shift the focus away from your success or frame it as less impressive. For example, if you've just completed a marathon, they might say, "A lot of people do marathons these days. It's not that rare anymore." These remarks often reflect their internal struggle with feelings of inadequacy or envy. Another instance came from a relative of mine. When I told her I had started a YouTube channel and was gaining subscribers, she replied, "You know, anyone can start a YouTube channel these days. The real challenge is making money from it." While technically true, her comment didn't acknowledge my accomplishment. It was a subtle way of bringing me down. This behavior also appears in workplace dynamics. A colleague might say, "That's a good idea, but isn't it just a variation of something we've done before?" Or, "Congrats on the award, but didn't the whole team contribute?" These remarks diminish your effort and success, leaving you questioning the validity of your achievements. The best way to handle this is to recognize that their reaction is about them, not you. Stay proud of your accomplishments, regardless of others' attempts to downplay them. Share your wins with people who genuinely appreciate and encourage your growth. And remember that your achievements are valid, no matter how others try to frame them. 3. Excessive flattery. I once worked with someone who always seemed overly complimentary. Every time I completed even the smallest task, they would say things like, "Wow, you're absolutely brilliant. I don't know how you do it." At first, it felt great. Who doesn't enjoy praise? But over time, the exaggeration felt insincere and even manipulative. Excessive flattery can be a tool for envious individuals to mask their true feelings or intentions. They might use it to gain your trust or deflect suspicion about their envy. For example, a friend might gush over how perfect your relationship is, saying, "You two are the ideal couple. I wish I had what you have," while simultaneously criticizing your partner behind your back. Their flattery becomes a cover for their underlying resentment. In professional settings, this behavior can be even more calculated. A colleague may overpraise your ideas during meetings. "This is revolutionary. You're a genius," only to later subtly sabotage your efforts by withholding information or spreading doubt about your capabilities. Their goal is to inflate your confidence temporarily while keeping you off balance. Excessive flattery often lacks specificity. Genuine compliments focus on particular actions or qualities, such as, "Your presentation was so engaging, especially how you broke down the complex data." In contrast, insincere praise is vague and overgeneralized, like, "You're just amazing at everything." To handle this, pay attention to patterns and consistency. Are their actions aligned with their words, or do they behave differently when you're not around? Balance is key. While genuine praise is uplifting, over-the-top flattery often signals hidden motives. Surround yourself with people who provide honest, balanced feedback, and trust your instincts when something feels off. True supporters uplift you without resorting to extremes. 4. Withholding praise. A few years ago, I completed a challenging project at work. It required long hours, creative problem-solving, and significant collaboration. When it was finished, I received praise from my manager and most of my team, but one colleague said nothing. No acknowledgement, no good job, just silence. I noticed this wasn't the first time they had failed to recognize my efforts, even though they freely praised others. Withholding praise is a subtle sign of envy. Instead of celebrating your success, envious people remain silent, often to avoid giving you the validation you've earned. For example, when you share exciting news, such as getting a promotion or buying your first home, they might respond with indifference or quickly change the subject, refusing to engage with your accomplishment. I've also seen this dynamic play out in friendships. A friend of mine, who had recently started a fitness journey, shared her progress on social media. She had lost 10 kilograms and was feeling healthier than ever. While most of her friends congratulated her, one remained conspicuously silent. Later, this person privately dismissed her success, saying, "It's easy to lose weight when you have free time. Not everyone can do that." Instead of celebrating her effort, they downplayed it and withheld any form of encouragement. In professional environments, withholding praise can be a form of passive competition. A colleague may avoid recognizing your contributions in meetings, even when your work directly benefits them. This silence often stems from insecurity. They believe acknowledging your achievements diminishes their own. The best way to handle this behavior is to recognize it for what it is, a reflection of their struggles, not your worth. Don't let their silence overshadow your accomplishments. Celebrate your wins and focus on relationships with people who genuinely support and uplift you. 5. Spreading gossip. A few years ago, I worked on a high-stakes project where I was chosen as the team lead. Shortly after the announcement, I started hearing whispers about how I got the role. "I heard they're just lucky," someone said, while another suggested I must have had inside connections. These rumors weren't just false. They were designed to undermine my credibility and create doubt about my abilities. Spreading gossip is a classic behavior of envious individuals. Unable to celebrate your success, they try to tarnish your reputation through rumors or exaggerated stories. For instance, if you get a promotion, they might tell others, "I'm not sure they deserved it. I heard the manager just likes them personally." Their goal is to shift attention away from your hard work and sow seeds of doubt among others. I've also seen this happen in social settings. A friend of mine started a thriving side business, which quickly gained recognition. Instead of celebrating her success, an acquaintance began spreading rumors like, "She must have had financial help from her family. There's no way she built that on her own." Such gossip undermined her credibility and subtly discouraged others from supporting her business. The workplace is another hotspot for gossip. When you excel, envious colleagues may spread misinformation, such as claiming your success is due to favoritism or implying you cut corners. This not only affects your confidence, but can also damage relationships with others who hear and believe the gossip. The best way to handle gossip is to confront it with professionalism and transparency. Focus on maintaining a strong track record and building trust with those who matter. Avoid engaging in the same behavior and surround yourself with people who value truth and integrity. Over time, your consistent actions will outweigh baseless rumors. 6. Unwarranted competition. During my early career, I worked alongside a colleague who seemed determined to turn everything into a competition. If I shared a small win, like successfully closing a deal, they would immediately counter with, "Oh, I closed 3 deals this week." It wasn't just about sharing their accomplishments, it was about overshadowing mine. Whether it was work-related achievements, fitness goals, or even personal hobbies, they always seemed to frame my success as less significant than theirs. Unwarranted competition is a hallmark of envy. Instead of celebrating your achievements, envious individuals try to one-up you to validate their own worth. For instance, if you mention completing a 10K run, they might reply, "That's great, but I've done a half marathon," even if the conversation wasn't about comparisons. Their competitiveness often feels unnecessary and exhausting. This behavior isn't confined to professional settings. In friendships, I've seen someone compete over parenting milestones. A friend shared how proud she was of her toddler learning to walk, only to hear another parent respond, "That's nice, but my child was walking at 9 months." It wasn't about support. It was about claiming superiority. Unwarranted competition can also manifest as subtle rivalry. For example, a colleague might intentionally take on similar projects to outperform you or replicate your ideas to claim credit. Their focus isn't on collaboration or mutual growth, but on proving they're better. The best way to address unwarranted competition is to set boundaries. Recognize that their behavior stems from insecurity and is not a reflection of your value. Avoid engaging in their competitive dynamic and instead stay focused on your own progress. Celebrate your achievements without seeking validation from those who constantly compare themselves to you. True success lies in collaboration, not rivalry. 7. Feigning support. I once shared an ambitious goal with a friend to run a 21K marathon after years of not training. At first, they seemed supportive, saying things like, "That's a great goal, you've got this." But over time, their true feelings started to show in subtle ways. They'd say, "Don't push yourself too hard, you don't want to get injured," or, "Honestly, I don't think you'll have time to prepare with your schedule." Their words sounded caring, but they left me feeling more discouraged than motivated. Feigning support is a deceptive form of envy. The person appears to encourage you outwardly, but undermines you with subtle doubt or negativity. For example, if you're starting a new business, they might say, "That's such an exciting idea. But have you thought about how hard it is to succeed in that industry?" Most people fail. While the surface comment seems helpful, their intention is to shake your confidence. In workplace settings, this behavior can be even more damaging. A colleague may initially back your project saying, "I think it's a solid idea," but then subtly criticize it to others or fail to provide the promised support. This creates roadblocks for you while allowing them to maintain the appearance of being helpful. In personal relationships, this dynamic can be draining. A family member might encourage you to pursue a dream like going back to school, but consistently point out obstacles. "It's wonderful that you want to study, but won't it be hard to juggle everything with kids?" The best way to handle feigned support is to trust your instincts. If their support leaves you feeling less capable, it's likely not genuine. Surround yourself with people whose encouragement uplifts you and fuels your motivation. Genuine supporters inspire confidence, not doubt. 8. Mood swings around your success. I remember a time when I shared some exciting news with a close acquaintance. I had just landed a dream job. At first, they seemed happy, congratulating me with a smile. But as the conversation continued, their demeanor shifted. They became quieter, less enthusiastic, and even a little distant. It was as though my success had triggered something in them, and they could no longer maintain their initial excitement. Mood swings around your success are a subtle yet telling sign of envy. While they may start with a cheerful facade, their true feelings often surface as discomfort, irritation, or withdrawal. For example, when you announce you've bought a new home, they might initially say, "That's amazing," but then quickly change the subject or seem disinterested in the details. Their reaction isn't about you, it's about their struggle to process your achievement. This behavior is also common in professional environments. A colleague might praise your promotion in a team meeting, but later avoid you or seem resentful during one-on-one interactions. Their mood shift reveals they're in a conflict. They want to appear supportive, but feel threatened or jealous deep down. In friendships, this can manifest when someone reacts positively to your personal milestones, like getting engaged or starting a new venture, but soon after becomes distant or starts highlighting their own struggles, as if to regain attention. The key to handling this is to maintain perspective. Their reaction is about their internal struggles, not your worth. While it's natural to want genuine support, not everyone can provide it. Surround yourself with people who can celebrate your success wholeheartedly. At the same time, practice empathy. Sometimes their discomfort reflects their own feelings of inadequacy, and your success might inspire them later. Stay focused on your path, regardless of their fluctuating emotions. 9. Mirroring behavior. When I started a new fitness routine a few years ago, I noticed a curious pattern with a friend. After I began sharing my progress, new exercises, goals, and achievements, they suddenly started doing the exact same things. They'd join the same gym, post similar updates, and even copy the specific workout programs I was following. At first I thought it was a coincidence or that I had inspired them, but over time it felt less like admiration and more like competition. Mirroring behavior is a subtle sign of envy, where someone imitates your actions, achievements, or style in an attempt to match or surpass you. While imitation is sometimes flattering, in this context, it often feels forced or disingenuous. For example, if you launch a creative project like a blog or YouTube channel, they might suddenly create a similar one. Instead of supporting your journey, they're trying to replicate it, often to compete or draw attention to themselves. I've seen this happen professionally too. When I pitched a new idea at work, a colleague soon presented a nearly identical concept as their own, tweaking it just enough to make it seem original. Their mirroring wasn't about collaboration, it was about claiming recognition. In personal relationships, it can be even more pronounced. A friend might start dressing similarly, adopting your hobbies, or mimicking your lifestyle choices. While they may claim it's because they admire you, the underlying intention often involves competing for validation or attention. To handle this, maintain confidence in your unique path. Remember, their attempts to replicate you are a sign of their admiration mixed with insecurity. Avoid letting their behavior affect your self-esteem or progress. Authenticity always outshines imitation, and staying true to yourself will keep you ahead of the curve. 10. Exaggerated complaints about fairness. I once worked with a colleague who constantly complained about fairness, especially when someone else was recognized for their efforts. When I received an award for a project, they made comments like, "It's nice you got that, but let's be honest, it's probably just because you're closer to the manager." Instead of acknowledging the work I had put in, they framed my success as the result of favoritism or luck. Exaggerated complaints about fairness are a classic sign of envy. People with this mindset often attribute others' achievements to external factors, rather than recognizing their effort or skill. For instance, if you get a promotion, they might say, "Well, it's only because they needed to fill a quota," or "That's just because you've been here longer, not because you're the best at the job." In social settings, this behavior can appear as subtle digs. If you share news of a personal milestone, like buying a car or taking a dream vacation, they might respond with, "Must be nice to have that kind of money. Some of us don't get those breaks." These comments are designed to downplay your hard work and position themselves as victims of an unfair system. This behavior can also emerge in group dynamics. For example, someone may feel entitled to recognition in team projects, claiming, "I did just as much work as they did, but I didn't get any credit." While fairness is important, envious individuals often exaggerate or misinterpret situations to justify their frustration. The best way to handle these complaints is to stay grounded in your truth. Don't feel pressured to justify your achievements. Instead, focus on your effort and results, and surround yourself with people who understand and appreciate the value of hard work. Their exaggerated complaints are a reflection of their insecurity, not your success. Recognizing envy and falsehood in others is a vital skill for protecting your peace and maintaining healthy relationships. By understanding these 10 signs, you're now equipped to navigate these challenges with clarity and confidence. Remember, the behavior of others reflects their struggles, not your worth. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more insights on personal growth and relationships. I'd love to hear from you. What signs of envy or falsehood have you encountered in your life? How did you handle them? Share your thoughts and takeaways in the comments below. Your stories might just inspire someone else. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.